my viewers. In today's discussion, we are going to learn how to calculate the CO2 emission. CO2 emission calculation is very much important in today's world because every country is giving a target and setting a target to reduce their carbon dioxide dependency for next 15 to 20 years. India has said that by 2050, okay, they will be completely removing the carbon dioxide, and their entire operation, whether it is the industries, hotel, hospital, household, everything will be migrated on the green energy. So this green energy could be a solar energy, wind energy, hydrogen fuel cell energy, be it be anything in which carbon dioxide will not be produced. Like today's we are using a thermal power plant which is running on the coal, diesel generator which is using a diesel or petrol. All such fossil fuels are emit the carbon dioxide into the environment, and because of that global warming is happening. So to overcome this all, first of all we should know that what is my electricity consumption, and out of electricity consumption how much of CO2 I am emitting into the environment. As an industry I should report my numbers to the government, that what is my annual generation of the carbon dioxide to the environment. Likewise, every establishment owner has mandatorily has to register all this. They have to keep the record, as well as they have to publish it on their websites. Okay, in near future there could be a tax on the carbon also. If you are generating a more carbon dioxide, your tax will increase. Okay, and also customer also will be having a choice of selection of the suppliers. Like as on today we are buying a product called 3 star, 4 star for air conditioner, fridges, TVs, etc. Everything is having a star rating. Why? Because higher the star, higher the energy efficiency. Similarly, there will be a star for carbon credit also. So it is a right time to understand that how to calculate the CO2 emission for ourselves. As an individual also, we are using electricity, we are using cooking gas, we are driving car. So we are also responsible for generating CO2. So I will tell you how to calculate this CO2 emission for any establishment or for ourselves, and this calculation is going to be very helpful as far as your academic purpose or for the professional things. Like there are chartered accountants who is keeping a record of our loss and profits and all this, and annually they publish, they give us a entire books of balance sheets and everything. Similarly, such carbon reporting is mandatory, and there is an audit called government audit, factory audit, energy audit, sustainability audit, then environmental audit. In all this audit, carbon credit and evaluation of carbon emission is mandatory, and that's why every engineer has to know this calculation. So let us start our thing. I will just show you the one picture here which will tell you that this is the picture which you can see that this is a thermal power plant. So in India maximum power is what we are consuming in our factory or in our houses, in the colleges, in the government offices, in the shops, everywhere. Maximum power is coming from the government owned electricity company or privately run electricity company, and this all power plant is running on the coal base. They are using the coal to generate the power. Okay, and when this power fails, so we are using a backup power system, that we can say it's a generator. So in this picture you see this is a generator. So when the electricity is there from the distribution company, that is our first priority because it is the cheapest electricity, and once this is not available, that time we are using the second source which is we called a diesel generator. And when the diesel generator is running, it uses a diesel as a fuel. So both has a different impact as far as the CO2 emission is concerned. So we will calculate the our power, whatever the power we are buying from the electricity company, because that is registered in our electricity meter, we are getting into the electricity bill also. So that we will take it from there, and from there we will calculate. And in the diesel generator side we know that how much diesel we have consumed in a monthly basis to generate x amount of power, x amount of units. Based on the liter consumed, we will calculate the CO2 emission from the diesel, and then we will combine both together. This is a total CO2 emission from electricity as well as the diesel generator, and thus we have to report like this much of kilogram of CO2 or ton of CO2 per year we are generating. So let's now, I will take you to the one small Excel sheet which I have prepared, and here I have created two cases. Okay, in the one case which is a commercial case, like whether it is a factory or anything else, you can just put your whatever your total energy consumption. For example, here I have mentioned 1000 units per month. Unit is there in column number D here, so you can see the units. So 1000 units I am consuming per month, in which I have divided my requirement in 50% in the electricity company, which I am taking 500 units from electricity company, and rest 500 units I am generating by installing my own diesel generator set. So now we need to see that what is the emission factor. Step 1 is over, that we should understand how much electricity we require, and out of which how much we are buying from electricity company and how much we are generating from DG set. Second one is emission factor. So I will take you to the one government guideline is there here. Okay, and this guideline tells you that how much of here, if you see this, then this is a guideline from the Central Electricity Authority. Okay, it's a government of India's body, and it is saying that here, if you see, this is a 0.82 kg. Okay, let me just enlarge here so at least we can understand. This is a 0.82 kg of so in this government guideline, emission factor is mentioned, which is a 0.82, right? So this 0.82 kg CO2 per 1 kWh, that is what the meaning is. So let us now go to our Excel. So we are consuming 500 units from the company, electricity company, and for 1 unit it is a 0.82 kg CO2. So that means 410 kg CO2 we are producing into the environment per month, because our monthly consumption is 500. So this 410 is for this 500 unit consumption which we have taken from the electricity company. Now second one is the diesel generator. So for the diesel generator, we have made one beautiful sheet which is very helpful here. Now DG set is having a different size of rating, which is starting from 10 kVA to 2000 kVA. So every customer has a different rating of DG sets in their premises. So that is why I have taken a 3 different case. One is the very small rating of DG set, another is a medium size DG set which is a 125, and another one is a large DG set which is a 1250 kVA DG sets. And we will calculate the same, that what is our requirement? Our requirement is 500 units. We need to generate balance 500 units from the diesel generator, and for that how much diesel will be consumed, and based on the diesel consumed we will calculate how much CO2 will be generated. That is what our objective. So now let us start for the 10 kVA. Now here the second row is units required from DG, which is 500 units, and this 500 units kWh is for monthly basis. Now what is a DG loading? DG loading, that means if you see in this chart we have mentioned is this is a 75% loading, this is a 50% loading, this is first one is 25%, this is 50%, this is 75%, and this is a 100%. So let me just mention this so it is easy to understand. This is a 25% of load, that means whatever the capacity is there, we are using 25% of its DG capacity. Here is 50%, this is a 75%, and the last one is 100%. So here we are using we are running our diesel generator, which is a 10 kVA. We are running on 75% of load. Okay, that is what our assumption, that anybody can see their DG set that what the loading it is running, whether it is running on 50%, 100%, 25%, whatever. Now if my generator is running on, let's say that on 50% of 75% of load which I have taken here, that means it will consume 1.7 liter per hour. Okay, so I have taken what is my CPH, that is a consumption per hour, which is a 1.7 liter per hour. Now 10 kVA DG, that means it is a kilowatt capacity is 8. Everybody knows we have to, if you don't know, you have to multiply this 10 into 0.8, so you will get 8 kilowatt. So technically 8 kilowatt is the final rating, ultimate capacity of the DG set. Now we are not running ultimate, that means 100%. We are running our DG set on 75%. So when you multiply this 75 into 8, that means you will get your 6 kilowatt of load. What is the meaning of this? My 8 kilowatt of diesel generator is running on 6 kilowatt of load, which is a 75%. So when my generator will run 1 hour, it will produce 6 unit. Okay, so how much unit I want to produce? So this is already I have mentioned that I want to produce a 500 units, right? So what I will do, I will divide 500 divided by 6. So I will get 83.33 hours. That means my diesel generator has to run 83.33 hours to generate 500 units. And when DG will run for 83 hours, every hour it will consume 1.7 liter. So for 83 hours, if you see here, it will consume 83.33 into 1.7, which is equal to 141.67 liter of diesel. So this is what we have got. This much of diesel is required in a month, okay, to generate 500 units. Now there is an emission factor for diesel generator, which is a 2.68 kg. That means when 1 liter of diesel is burnt, 2.68 kg carbon dioxide is emitted. So we need to multiply this 2.68 into 141 liter. So we will get 379.67 kg of CO2. So now if I want to calculate what is a per unit generation, because I am generating 379 kg for 500 units. So for 1 unit, that means 379.62 divided by 500, which is nothing but 0.76 kg per 1 unit of DG set. Okay, now let us see on the one more capacity of the DG. Same way, if I am putting 125 and I am assuming here that my 125 kVA machine will run on 50% of load, that means at 50% it will consume 15.5 liter for 1 hour of running. So I have taken 15.5 and DG rating is 125. So when you want to convert this 125 into kilowatt, you have to multiply 0.8. Here also mentioned 125 kVA DG is equal to 100 kilowatt. Okay, and once my DG will run for 1 hour, how much it will produce, because it is running on 50% load, so 50% into 100, that is 50. So one DG will run for 1 hour, it will produce 50 units. How much I want to generate? 500. So I will divide this 500 divided by 50. That means I need to run my DG for 10 hours. Once I will run my diesel generator for 10 hours, I will be able to generate 500 units. So how much of diesel required? So diesel required is 10 into 15.52. So 155.2 liter of diesel is required to generate 500 units. Okay, and our emission factor is same, that 1 liter is generating 2.68 kg of carbon dioxide. So when I multiply this 155 into 2.68, it is coming 415 kg of CO2 generation for 500. So once I divide this 415 divided by 500, I am getting 0.83 kg per 1 unit of CO2, and this 1 unit of CO2, 1 unit I have generated from 125 kVA. Here I have generated 1 unit of electricity from 10 kVA DG. So here we can see that whether it is a 10 kVA, 125 kVA or 1250 kVA, our CO2 generation per electricity unit is 0.76 to 0.83. It is ranging from 0.7 to 0.8. So there is not a much difference. So we can consider the highest one, which is a 0.83 in our calculation. So let us put here that 0.83 is my generation. The calculation is very easy for you. Here you have taken 0.82 with the power which we are buying from electricity company, and here we have taken 0.83, the power which we are generating from the diesel generator. So almost we both are same, and in fact you can use it same number also, just for the sake of calculation. There is no much error. So here what is the answer? CO2 generation for unit consumed from electricity company is 410. So 410 kg CO2 per month. Similarly 415 is a kg CO2 per month from the diesel generator. What is my formula? Total carbon dioxide generator per month is equal to C grid power plus C diesel power. That means 410 plus 415, that is becoming my total CO2 generation, and that I can say कि I am generating 825 kg CO2 per month. If answer wants in a ton of CO2, because normally these all numbers are getting reported on yearly basis. So if you want to convert this into the ton, we have to divide it by 1000. So we will get ton CO2 per month. You can multiply by 12. So you can get annual CO2 generation of the premises. Now just for an example, once we know that okay, I am generating 825 kg CO2 on monthly basis. Now let's say I am a newspaper company and I am using this 1000 units monthly basis to run my machines, and my machine is actually producing 1 lakh of 100,000 newspaper copies. Okay, so when you want to calculate the per newspaper how much carbon we are generating, so we can simply divide this 0.825 into 1 lakh divided by 1 lakh. So we will get that for every newspaper we are generating this much of carbon dioxide. Now this is in a ton CO2. So if you want to calculate into the kg, just to read properly, it is a 0.00825, and if you multiply further, you will convert from kg to gram. So that means here we can say this is a gram CO2, right? This is a gram CO2 per newspaper. This is how we can report. Similarly, if anybody is like a ISP provider who is providing the internet services, so let's say they may say that they have sold 100,000 gigabyte of data. So simply they can divide this into this one, and they can say how much of they have taken this. Here we have changed this, so that's why it got changed. It is linked with this, okay, like that. So if we want to calculate from this one number ton CO2 to gram CO2, we have to multiply by 10 raised to 6. We will get 8.25. Similarly, if it is let's say it's a restaurant, and restaurant is serving a 3000 customers every month. So what we can do, we can see that what is my monthly CO2 generation? 0.825 ton. So what we can do, we can multiply this one 0.825 divided by 3000 into 10 raised to 6. So we will get 275 grams. 275 grams CO2 per customer. So in future you will see that every restaurant, any company, any colleges, hostels, government corporate houses, all these, they will be publish their CO2 numbers in form of customers or in form of month, that this is what they are generating, and that's how people will come to know. For example, one restaurant is saying that they are generating 275 grams CO2 per customer, and if another restaurant is saying they are only generating 100 grams CO2 per customer, that means that restaurant has a green power and their energy efficiency is very good. That's why they are contributing a less carbon dioxide into the environment, and they might get some taxation benefit also. So this is the one case what we have done for the commercial purpose. Now this is the same case we can use for our personal also. Let's go. So in this sheet, same numbers I have used. Only what I have added is the domestic consumption. Like any family is using a cooking gas which is LPG. So normally one cylinder of LPG is having a 14.5 kg of propane gas. Okay. So if we convert this 14.5 or 14.2 whatever, this is the emission factor for the 1 kg of gas when we burnt in the LPG, then 2.98 kg of CO2 is getting emitted into the environment of 1 kg of LPG gas. So when we burnt the entire one cylinder, that means 42.36, here is the calculation, 42.36 kg of CO2 is emitted. So here if we see that same, my 1000 unit is my monthly consumption, 500 from electricity board, 500 from diesel generator set, and then I will be having 810 units, 810 kg of CO2 per month for electricity. Now I am adding one cylinder as a monthly usage, so that will be add my another 42.36 kg CO2 per month. And if let's say if I am using a petrol car and I am using a one full tank in 1 month, so for a 1 liter of petrol it will generate 2.33 kg of CO2. So that's what the difference in diesel and petrol, because 1 liter of diesel is generating 2.68 kg of CO2, whereas 1 liter of petrol will generate 2.33 kg of CO2. So if I convert this 40 liters, this is a 40 liter of my fuel tank, and this if I convert this 40 liter into this one, so I will get 93.2 kg CO2 for my fuel. Okay, so this is what the liter I am burning in my driving for 1 month. So this is a 93.2. So if I see that my electricity consumption, then my cooking gas consumption, and finally my traveling, all I am adding, then it is coming a 945. That means roughly 1000 kg. Okay, so 1 ton of CO2 I am actually producing per month basis. So if I am family, so I may say 945 kg of CO2 per month per family. And let's say in a one family there is a 4 members who is actually actively using electricity, cooking and traveling. So I will divide this 945 divided by 4. Okay, so then I will be saying that per person, that means I am a one person, so I will be consuming 236.39 kg of CO2 per month. So this is what the calculation here. We can convert this 945 into a ton, so we can say 0.95 ton, which is a 1 ton. And if somebody says how to calculate for 1 year, so you can simply multiply by 12. Okay, and same thing we can convert this CO2 in terms of products, but anyway product is not applicable for the personal use. So this is what the final calculation we can derive on. So so I think now we are pretty clear that how to calculate the CO2 emission. We have seen the guidelines also, like for grid it is a 0.82 kg per 1 unit of electricity, and for diesel generator set same number you can use, because whether you are using a 10 kVA DG or 1000 kVA DG, roughly your kg per unit consumption of CO2 is same, which is varying between 0.7 to 0.82. So that is not a big difference. You can use a 0.82. So for electricity and for diesel electricity, you can use emission factor 0.82 kg CO2 per kWh. Then for cooking gas, we know that 1 kg of LPG gas will produce a 2.99 kg of CO2. So that emission factor we have used. And for if I'm using a diesel car, then you can use a 2.68 liter per 2.68 kg CO2 per 1 liter of diesel. And if we are using a petrol car, then we can use a 2.33 kg of CO2 for 1 liter of petrol. So with these four parameters, I think you can easily calculate the your consumption. If you are using a CNG gas or natural gas, then you can just go the Google and you see it, then you will get emission factor for natural 1 kg of natural gas or 1 meter cube of natural gas. What is the kg consumption of CO2? That number you can use it, and you can calculate the CO2 emission, and you can keep this data. You can prepare a trend, and you will come to know that how your CO2 consumption is going. Once you know the CO2 consumption, let's say as a person I know that my family is consuming a 945 kg of CO2 per month. That means almost a 1 ton. Now if I want to reduce my things, then I know, if you see in this Excel sheet, let's say somebody is giving me a target, there's this 945 which is my consumption, I want to reduce by 50%. Okay, so when I'm saying that I want to reduce my CO2 emission, so I need to see that how much CO2 I'm getting from from this. So if we say, if we let's say divide this 4110 divided by this, and I will just freeze this number here. So we'll say that we are getting 43% CO2 from our electricity, which is from the electricity company, 42 from diesel generator set, then 4% from this one, and 10% from the my driving. So how I can reduce? What is the way of reduction? So we know that these are the main two factors where highest consumption is happening, which is almost 85%. So if this 85% is coming for my electricity use, so that means I need to, what I have to do now, I have to either reduce my consumption. Is it possible in today's scenario? No, we cannot reduce our consumption. In fact, we are buying new gadgets and high fast chargers and many other things we are keep buying. So there is no possibility that we can reduce the consumption. So consumption is going to increase, but what we can see, we can adopt a new technology. So we can go with the solar or wind or hydrogen, whatever the technology is available in the market for the usage. That only we can do. We cannot invent anything. So let's say that I need to reduce my consumption 40 by 50%. So I will say that this 400 units which I am producing from the diesel generator set, that I will not produce. I will remove my DG set. So these 400 units I want to buy from solar. For example, 400 units from solar. This is my requirement. So if you see in my another tutorial, we have given the calculation. I will simply again just mention, you can divide this 400 divided by 3.5. 3.5 is a factor, like 1 kilowatt of solar panel will generate a 3.5 to 4 units per day. So I'm just making some oversizing, so I'm taking 3.5. so that means 400 units when you require, okay, from the solar, and that is for the 300 days 30 days. So we have to divide by 3. So roughly we can say that we require a 3.81 or 3.8 kilowatt of solar panels I require. That is the sizing of my solar plant. So either 3.8 or nearly you can go for the 4 kilowatt of solar panel. So once you install a 4 kilowatt of solar panel, you will be able to generate the 400 units from the solar panel, and basis you will reduce the 400, this 500 units you will be able to generate. Let me just see, our requirement is not 400, our requirement is 500. So we require a 4.8 kilowatt of solar panel. So once we install a 4.8 kilowatt of solar panel, whatever the 500 units I'm getting from generator, now I'm going to get from solar. So this 400 CO2 emission will become a zero, because this I'm not buying from DG set, I will go from this. So now my net solar my CO2 generation is 545.56, which was earlier 945. So this is how we can reduce the our CO2 emission. So to reduce the CO2 emission, what is the first thing? We should know what is my CO2 emission, and then we can decide how much we want to reduce, and for the reduction what are the techniques available, and basis the techniques we can calculate what exactly I require. So with this we can derive our right technology, and thereby we can choice, and we can reduce our CO2 generation, and we can meet our target. So I think that this precisely we have discussed all the topics, and it will be very helpful to you. So I request that you implement this, whatever the learnings you have got today, in your daily usage. Thank you. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please consider to subscribe this channel and hit the like button if you really enjoyed, and if you see that it is doing a value addition in your knowledge. And please press a bell icon also, so that as soon as I upload a new videos, you will be always notified. And share these tutorials within your friends and colleagues, so at least they also can get benefited. Thank you.